You are Locked On Texas Tech, your daily podcast on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And the two throws that he made that were picked off, I think the one to Caleb Douglas, it was underthrown on purpose. It's like a back shoulder, and I think that could it have been thrown a bit different or better, or does Caleb have to come back through? And it should have put the DB in a bit of a trickier spot.
Well, I thought he was. Should there not have been a PI?
Not making a play on the ball. I don't disagree with that. And so that's one. The other one, underthrown to Coy. It's like almost Coy was like shocked, like I have it. Okay, now I don't. Like it was just like this. What just happened?
I'm giving credit to 23. I think.
Yeah, he just took it.
Yeah,
he just took it away.
Very exciting.
But
it was a great play.
Yeah, and so I don't. I just know the way it looked in August, and it was overwhelmingly, number two, and that's just the way it was. Now that doesn't mean that things don't change or the circumstances don't change. I just know Joey's that's not gonna be like a thing now, even if that's what everybody wants it to be.
Well, sure. And as soon as you listen to the fans, you're sitting with them. So I'll defer to those who are on the inside. Their names are on the checks. Or on the pink slip, whatever it may be, if they make the wrong call. So I'm going to defer to those guys to make the right call. But I am, overwhelmingly, as far as the separation being described between those two QBs, is it just veteran seasoning or a grasp of executing the offense? Or what do you think really provided the difference? Because physically, I don't know what difference there actually is.
Yeah, I think the culture and the leader part of this thing. I think Behren was tasked with trying to him and Jacob Rodriguez, if we want to just call it out, that they were really tasked with meshing this whole thing together. And so I think that a lot of those guys on that team look to those two guys more than any other player, and that's what they were tasked with, meshing it together and all the things. It's like that intangible, and people may roll their eyes at that. But again, I just and this isn't all Joey's call, even though he has final say.
First, today's episode brought to you by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spots run on Square. There are certain businesses that truly make the neighborhood feel like home, whether it's the local sports bar, the coffee shop, or the corner store that's been serving your neighborhood for decades. These are the kind of places that bring people together. And when neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world, including some local favorites in the 806 like Shadow Hills Golf Course, The Outdoor Chef, Quarter Ford, Lubbock Welding Supply, Sugar Bakers, and a whole lot more. You can go to square.com/go/lockedoncollege to learn more today. But before you do, go support your favorite local spot. Powered by Square. See you in the neighborhood.
I think Mac Leftwich would tell you there's a pecking order here too. I will say there's no doubt that Will's ability to run in the QB run game opens up a completely different dynamic, which is why you're going to see that incorporated no matter what. It doesn't matter who the starter is. If Beren's still the starter, Will's going to still get some opportunities in the red zone and things like that. And if Will was the starter, I think that he would still get those opportunities. I just think that is a different dynamic that Behren doesn't really give you. Anyway, I just hate it that that's Sum's big takeaway after this monster win, because you're going to need both of these guys, regardless if you have.
Well, sure, but you get why, right? Because you got
absolutely
win of the McGuire era,
and
absolutely your backup QB balled out.
Yeah, he did
immediately and entirely.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I just know that, and again, this is probably the part that people don't or care the least about. They just want the on the field product and what they see. There's just so much more that I think Joey is worried about or has to worry about internally on the same page with all those things that. And again, I think I've seen some like he's just not brave enough to push that button. That has nothing to do with it. I mean, he's trying to win, man. He doesn't give a damn who's playing quarterback for him. I think it's just he's a master culture builder and all those things. And, we'll just see how it plays out. But I do think that right now, I think Behren will end up being fine. I think he could probably use some time off too, and some days off and to get healed up. And I bet he starts against Houston. So we'll just go from there. And I think Will be ready and willing to go, and we'll still play no matter what at various times or in various circumstances. So anyway, we'll see. Joey was really quick to shut that down. It's, and I think that you're very astute to point that out.
Look, that's our initial assessment and perspective from our perspective. We're the only ones in our shoes. As for the fan base and the Locked On Texas Tech fan family, have a ball with it for the next 2 weeks. Cuss and discuss for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's what we're out there to do on RedRaidersports.com or in the Matador Mob or anywhere else.
Yep.
You can vibe with Red Raiders. So
these are like children. I like all my children equally. Sure. Like and guess what? You need all of your children, right? They're both going to have to do different things to get to where you want to go. This is what we pounded into everybody all summer long. It's like you need all parties here. And I do think that there's absolutely a reason why Mitch Griffiths is here. This is what you were trying to cover yourself with. Mm-hmm. You just don't know what's around the corner. And you went up to BYU, for goodness sakes, a few years ago, played on a Saturday night in front of a very hostile crowd. And this was an 18-year-old true freshman that should have never been put in that position. But this is where you were. And I think that your goal is to try to never have that happen again. And it's a marathon, this thing. So pick whoever you want. I don't care. The Mac and Joey will pick whoever they want, and away you go. But you're going to need all parties here. I'm a firm believer in that.
As far as needing all children, I don't know. I think my old man questioned every once in a while, did I really need this guy? But that's a different conversation. Chris, before we get out of here, another interesting dynamic as far as, I guess, a perceived competition was among the kickers coming into the year. We've been observing this closely for obvious reason. You feel like you're going to wind up in some top spots and need these guys to perform at some point during your run to the Big 12. But, I remember Coach Perry and Coach McGuire talking during the non-conference about after 3 weeks, we hope, I guess maybe there's a clear picture or some separation. Didn't really feel like there was necessarily a clear picture, though the hierarchy still seemed kind of intact heading into this Big 12 opener with Stone Harrington at the top of it. But, man, after a 56-yarder on the road and just continuing to do what he's been able to do so well, are we calling this competition good and over, or how are you seeing this particular angle?